Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of You Ought to Know Live, seen and heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouAutoKnowLive.com, part of the Hangout10.com network. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm Dave Serio. Along with a couple of my friends, we're going to talk about some auto repair questions and detailing information and things that go on in the automotive industry. We also, of course, will be talking Orioles because our Orioles down 2-0, we know, but they're ready to play the third game in Kansas City, and that's something I'm excited about. So let's hope we can win 2 of them out of 3 at least in Kansas City, bring this back to Baltimore, and get it done. We shall see what happens. By the way, if you're watching this on archive, we'd love to have you join us next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. live. It's YouAutoKnowLive.com. YouAutoKnowLive.com. Let's go to our first guest, Mike Lambert. He's not even a guest anymore. He's part of the show. He's the man, the extreme detailer himself, Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop. Good evening, Mr. Mike.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. Great to have you here this evening. Boy, there's a lot going on in your life and your business in the last 10 days.
Yeah, it's been a little hectic. We're introducing a new line of products from a company out of Japan called Gion, G-Y-E-O-N.
And starting to sound like a hairstylist, isn't he, Jose? We're getting a new line of products, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to leave your hair exactly the way we want it to. So go ahead, tell us all about these new products. Gion, that even sounds more like a hairstylist.
Yeah, it's a really exciting new product, ceramic coating, but it is harder and more durable than what we've been using, and we've had it on our cars, and we've been really impressed with it. It is made in a different fashion. The agent that actually allows you to put the glass onto the car is not an alcohol-based product, which is completely different from anything else on the market. And what that does is it makes it easier to apply, actually, because it doesn't flash off so fast. And the agent itself is not porous like alcohol is. So that means that it leaves a thicker layer of the coating on the car, and it doesn't shrink as it cures, meaning it doesn't become thinner as it cures. So it stays much thicker. It's much more water resistant than anything else we've tried. And they kind of grade their coating or test their coating for durability by real world testing. They figure
dynamic automotive car wash, something like that.
Yes, they tested it through automatic car washes, and the minimum product that they have, the lower end of their scale is 150 to 200 car washes. So that'll give you some idea of how durable the product is.
Wow. Very good. Now, I was going to ask you, is it harder to install since it is actually a harder product? But you're saying no, it's not.
No, they made it very easy to install. The other coatings that we've done, you really got to be careful with the amount of time you let it flash, because if you let it flash, even a minute too long, it's just you can't get it off. This is it's just very easy to install. You get it's a much thicker consistency than like the other coatings. The other coatings are like water. This is a little bit thicker, so you really get a nice even layer on the paint.
Now, of course, I got to ask this because at every restaurant, when they get a new menu, means the prices have gone up. Is that going to affect the pricing of this particular of your particular jobs?
No, not at all. This is we've been able to keep this. It's a little more expensive to us, but we can still offer it at the same prices we were with our other coating.
Okay.
And our other coating has increased in price significantly, so that's why we've been looking for. We always look for the latest in technology, and we were looking at this product anyway, but this just made it kind of force the issue a little bit earlier, I'll say.
Okay. All right, now explain something to the folks. We've done this before on the program. You said a ceramic coating. So that most people go, huh? It is in lieu of a wax. It is not a renewable wax. It's in lieu of a wax.
Right. The biggest thing about coatings in general is durability, and because they don't wash off as waxes and sealants do, and they don't evaporate into the air as waxes and sealants do, and they tolerate heat a lot better too. So they chemically bond to your paint versus mechanically bonding, meaning the waxes and sealants just kind of stick on your paint. This actually becomes one with the paint, if you will, and thus you get the durability of years instead of months.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting my Magnum over there because it's been an outside car. At least it's going to be that way for me. I'm assuming it was for the one owner that owned it before me. I don't know. It could have been a garage car, but I'm looking forward to getting it over to you and see how you'll improve it. And I know it's going to improve big time.
Yeah, we've been really impressed with it. I put one of their coatings that they offer on my car, and even my wife said she's never seen the black look like that. And I've been really impressed with it. It's been sitting outside for a week because of how busy we've been. I haven't washed it for a week, and it still looks clean.
That's what's behind you right now, right?
No, this is for tomorrow. This is the Lexus for tomorrow.
Oh, okay, what is that?
Mine's outside because this is in here. So.
Oh, okay. What model do you have Lexus in there?
SC430.
Oh, that's a great car.
It's a pretty car. It's had a little bit. It needs a little bit of love, but we'll make it pretty.
That's what you're there for. Yes, sir. And of course, you do daily drivers, you do exotics, you do high dollar cars. You do a little bit of everything.
We do a little bit of everything. This week we've done everything from Subaru Outback to this past weekend we did a 2014 Chevy Silverado, big black four-door truck, and he got one of the coatings on that, and he was real happy because it's an outside truck, so it'll help out.
Well, the next time you do a Subaru, why don't you do it right there in the shop instead of out back?
I got it. That you were joking, huh?
No. Yeah, man. I want to make sure you're paying attention. All right.
I was paying attention.
All right. If you notice on the screen, Mike's website is right there. It's theshineshop.autodetailing.com. His phone number, if you want to ask a question about the ceramic coatings or the waxes or what the ceramic coatings go on, we would want to make sure people understand that ceramic coatings only go on vehicles with clear coat.
Yeah, that's what they're designed for. I mean, there are guys that do it on single-stage paint, but I've read about difficulties with that after a few months. So we kind of stay away from that. We treat the single-stage paints because most of those cars are garage queens, so they don't really. The durability is not your main concern. Right. So that's why we stick with the clear coats.
So if you have a question for Mike, get a hold of him at 410-833-1632. And when we come back, we'll talk about what we're going to do this Saturday. Okay, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right. Coming up, the Jose and Todd Show. This is the dynamic duo from Dynamic Automotive. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you guys. Yeah, I thought I kind of surprised you just a little bit Thursday. You guys were eating your lunch upstairs in the Ivory Tower, and all of a sudden you heard whoom, whoom, whoom come in. And I know you probably thought it was the cops, bailing out, throwing the food away, whatever, I kind of surprised you. So it's good to see you. It was good to see you.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. It really was. And we always get a laugh out of conversing with you. The guys really were entertained while you were here. It was
and then they tell you what they really think of me. I know. It's okay. I can live with that. That's okay. Did I make your girl Friday happy? That's all I want to know,
That's the truth. She wanted to drive that thing.
Well, I told her she could.
Oh, yeah. I saw you throw her the keys.
I know. I was serious.
Yeah.
As long as she's over 25. That's the only my insurance company demands. Nobody under 25 can drive it,
I think she just had a birthday and she just turned 25. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And you're sticking with that story, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is recorded forever. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I'm in trouble. Anyway.
It's going to be true.
Yes. Okay, so tell the folks a little bit about Dynamic Automotive. Just a little bit now. Don't go crazy.
Okay, we have 3 locations in Frederick County. Todd and I are at the Liberty Town location, and if you want to talk to us, you can call us at 301-694-6250. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and on Saturday from 12 to noon. We have 2 other locations.
8 to 12?
8 to 12. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, gotcha. Because 12 to noon, you wouldn't be open too long. I'd be like, okay, we're here, we're going. All right. All right, 8 to 12 on Saturday. Okay, very good.
8 to 12 on Saturday. Our original location is in Newmarket, Maryland. They are open 6 days a week, 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 3 on Saturday. You'll be talking to Sarah or Lee, and their phone number there is 301-694-5460. And we have another location right off of Route 270, and that phone number there is 301-874-8833. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturday, 8 to 5, general repair, and the quick lube and the car wash are open on Sundays from 8 to 5 also.
Okay. Now, who runs that shop?
You'll have the pleasure of talking to Jason or Kevin and or Big Bobby Allen, and he's always happy to converse with you.
Now, who really runs that shop over there at your shop on Tuesday and Thursday?
Over here?
Yeah.
Tuesday and Thursday?
Who really runs your shop?
This guy.
No. Tuesday and Thursday. Darlene.
Without a doubt, Darlene is the head honcho. Yes, we all bow to Darlene.
There you go. Darlene runs your shop Tuesday and Thursday, and then the big shop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. Very good.
That's exactly right. Yeah, she is in charge.
There you go. All right, so Mr. Todd, tell us what has been going on over the last couple business days there at the location.
Oh, wow, it's been a slew of brake lines, Dave.
It's been what?
We've been doing brake lines.
A slew of brake lines, okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Have you used any of the General Motors kits yet?
No, have not.
We did. Last week we had one. It was the ABS lines going right into the ABS pump, and you know how all four lines are really, really close. So we decided to cheat. We decided to cheat, and we looked into it. It was $135 list for the brake line kit, and it took about 6.5 hours to install. So it went very well.
Yeah, they can be quite troublesome sometimes because they're so close and whatnot. A lot of times on the GM products, we use a company called Inline Tube, and we get the steel lines for them.
Right.
And,
these are all coated lines. And we had a Ford in. This is so unusual, but I guess you guys have seen this already. But we had a Ford F-250 in about 2 weeks ago, and the brake lines in the rear were all just rusted away, and he had a line failure. Where in the front, all the way from the very front of the vehicle to the middle of the vehicle, all the lines were coated. Factory coated, and great, and fantastic shape. Look like they've never been out of the factory. And then everything behind it is rusted. So, you got to ask yourself, how much more would it have cost Ford to coat those coated lines in the rear?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. And that's actually two of them that I did, Dave. Both of them were F-150s, about 2000, 2001.
Right.
And same scenario. Everything in the front was like a plastic rubbery coating over the lines, and they were gorgeous.
Yeah.
But from the back, they were just bare steel and completely rotten.
It's just, to me, this is like with General Motors in the ignition switch situation. The ignition cylinder. That's another thing. I had a customer call me. I want your opinion on this too. I had a customer call me on the radio show last Saturday, and he has a Cadillac. And he set up to have the ignition switch replaced. Now, tell me if you've heard this. I had heard that they were also replacing ignition cylinders at the same time, doing cylinders and switches on that recall. Have you heard that by any means?
I haven't heard anything about the cylinder.
Okay.
I thought it was an electrical component of the switch myself.
Yeah, I had heard cylinders were included also on a lot of these cars. Well, anyway, this guy calls. He's got a 2005 Cadillac CTS, and the ignition cylinder went up. It won't turn. Okay, it's not a key situation. It's actually the cylinder. And the Cadillac dealer wants to charge him $800 to replace the cylinder, and then they'll do the recall for him at no charge. But they won't do the recall until he gets the cylinder replaced.
Wow. I'll be making a phone call.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, the guy that I deal with from GM all the time, a dealer, is on vacation this week. So I'm waiting for him to get off vacation to see what he would say. I had heard. I'm trying to find it where I read it. It was one of the recalls that they were also replacing some switches. You know, if I was GM and I had one of my customers have a problem with anything the word started ignition, okay, that involved the switch or the key, I'd be taken care of for no charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, so much for that. Okay, anyway, so brake lines.
Yeah, I'm out right now.
Oh, you're trying to do it? There you go. Yeah, see, we find.
Yes.
I try to find it real quick.
I'm on the hunt here, and so far I have not found anything that describes that. So, let's go to safety. But I'll tell you, I'll continue my search here while you go on talking, and
All right.
I'll find something here.
All right, that sounds good. So, Todd, brake lines and other things like that. You do all types of work at this shop, including working on diesels, correct?
Yes, we do. We do a wide variety of repairs and maintenance from anything from small 4-cylinder cars all the way up to 8-cylinder diesel 4-wheel drive trucks. From simple tune-ups, oil changes, all the way up to engine transmission replacements. There's pretty much no limit.
Well, I just spent 3 days in Florida, and I hate to say this, but the weather is turning up here. I was in 90-degree temperatures. I went to the Tampa Bay game, the Ravens, and had a chance to see that 48-17 blowout. And those 17 points were almost gifts. We had, by that time, put in second and third string. So it was an incredible situation. By the first quarter, I would say half of the Tampa Bay fans had left. By the end of the second quarter, or halftime, I would say probably 70% of the Tampa Bay fans left. And it left us with about the same amount of Ravens fans versus Tampa Bay fans at halftime.
Wow.
28-0 in the first quarter to do that. Yep. So I tell you, maintenance is the key thing that we're looking at right now, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is the time of year.
Yeah.
So we start trying to sell some maintenance, talk to people about it, and if you've got to get your car, you want your car to make it through the cold winter that they're predicting this year, it's important to get those fluids straightened out, and of course timing belts and spark plugs and things like that if they need to be done.
So very important right now. And if you're on top of it right now, well, chances are you'll make it through the winter without a problem. If you let things go, you might end up on the hook.
All right. And, batteries, by the way, are another thing to be concerned about, even though it is true that more battery failures happen in the summertime. But when that first cold day, when that first below 20 hits, that's when you separate the men from the boys when it comes to the batteries.
Isn't that the truth? Yes.
We'll usually get maybe 10 to 12 calls within a 2 or 3 day period after that first below 20-degree day hits. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, and we'll see a slew of water pumps also go out. And cooling systems are really affected.
Exactly.
Water pumps, radiators, hoses that don't tend to retain their seal, they start to leak. Of course, now we have the clamps that keep constant pressure on those hoses, but in the old days, the water clamps, they would not keep that constant pressure, and you'd end up with a slight leak between a hose, say a water pump or a radiator.
And of course, the situation is that coolant, when it's not serviced properly, it gets acidic, and that gives it even more opportunity to cause failures around your thermostat and around your water pump and radiator.
That can become very troublesome, especially now when we have aluminum as one of the primary elements in engine heads and blocks. Right. Acidity is a great big enemy of aluminum blocks.
Right, it just eats it away, gets pitted, and eventually, you've got a leak problem through a gasket or even through a valve train. So it all happens very quickly. Well, guys, hang in just 1 second. We're gonna go back to Mr. Mike and talk about his perils. And it's good stuff going on, too. Todd, okay. Good to have you. Be right with you just one minute, okay? Thanks. Mr. Mike Lambert, once again, from the Shine Shop. We are going to be together on Saturday morning. Is that correct?
As far as I know, unless something happens between now and then.
I certainly hope not. I hope all that happens between now and then is good. Saturday morning, and I'll be there as early as 6:15 because my first show starts at 7. I'll be doing my live broadcast from 7 to 10 from Hunt Valley Horsepower.
Yep.
And that's located at the Hunt Valley Town Center. It's like a cars and coffee type of event where people just get together, socialize around their automobiles, talking cars, and having breakfast at some of the breakfast places there. And Hunt Valley Horsepower, once again, is located at the Hunt Valley Town Center, which is a very large, I don't want to use the word mall, it's a town center, but it's a very large shopping center, town center mall kind of place. And that is located on Shawan Road, which is spelled S-H-A-W-A-N, Shawan Road, and that's between Interstate 83 and York Road. And it's a great time.
It is. It's this is their last special gathering of the year, which is for Toys for Tots. So
Right.
hopefully people can bring out some new unwrapped toys. And Lena's got the back of her car loaded up already, so we're ready for that. And hopefully the weather will be good. But I would figure 700 to 1,000 cars is usual for their special gatherings.
I would think so. And we already went out and got a couple gifts. Michelle only had to call me 3 times asking me questions. I said, Michelle, it's for an anonymous child. We don't know who it's going to go to. So virtually anything you buy is going to be okay. They'll look at it and they'll match it to a child that needs it. Well, still had to get 3 questions about it, you know. But anyway, we got them. We got them. So it's all good. Any unwrapped new gift is what's desirable. And if you can bring it with you and donate it for Toys for Tots, that would be even more better, as we like to say. And I want to thank Joe's Crab Shack because they're the nice folks that are supplying the power and also the phone line, which is allowing me to do my radio show live from there, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So thank you to Lisa over at Joe's Crab Shack. We're looking forward to seeing her and also, of course, doing it right in front of the building.
Yeah, it should be real nice again. We've always had a good time with them, and at Joe's Crab Shack, they treat us real well. And Rich does a wonderful job getting it all ready, and they've got the newer security guys there this year, which keeps everything nice and calm.
Yep.
And it should be a really good time. I'm sure some of his newer sponsors will be out with some of the dealerships will be out with some of their newest stuff, so that's always a good thing to see.
Well, you're going to have your Challenger there, the 2013 RT, and that's going to have the brand new Guyon coating on it. So you'll be showing everybody that. That's great.
And, yeah, Lena's car will be there. We've got that on hers, and hopefully I'll have a chance to get them both washed before Saturday. If not, we'll just take them dirty.
God bless you, Jose. Hey, you know when we were in Hawaii, I told you about the rental car problem, that I had that Chevy Cruze that really did not do. It's not a favorable report on the Chevy Cruze. Okay, I really did not like the car. I mean, I can go on and on, but there were so many things about this car I did not like. So I'm renting a car down in Florida. I just went to Tampa and Orlando. And my buddy lives in the Orlando area, and of course the game's in Tampa. I fly into Orlando. He lives in the Villages down there. So I need to rent a car. I don't want to have him only come over an hour and pick me up and take me back and all that jazz. So the airport rental car area is completely empty except for Alamo, where everybody is at. So I had to stand in line for 50 minutes, 50 minutes, waiting to do the paperwork. And then it's like, as Jim says, you mean, Reverend Jim would say, I thought that was the test. I thought that's when I got my car. No, then I have to go to another part of the airport, taking a tram to where the cars are. I get out of the tram, I go to the Alamo area, and there's a crowd of people. So I go up to the woman, I said, can I ask you a question? I said, I'm not real picky about my car. Is there any way I can just pick one out? She goes, sure. She goes, go over to, she looks at my paper, she goes, go over to midsize. I go over to midsize, there's only 2 cars left. One is a Chevy Cruze. I said, oh Lord, please let there be something else I can pick. A VW Jetta.
There you go.
I took one. I wasn't happy. Not my kind of cup of tea of German cars. But, and you know what I had the hardest time getting used to on this VW Jetta? Where the ignition key went in.
Yep.
It went in the side of the steering column. But it's really far back, and it's sideways from what we're used to putting in. You know, it goes different. At nighttime, a couple of times I had to open the door in order to find out where to put the key. Couldn't find it, but it was a nice little car. It did well. And it did well.
They're nice cars. They're nice cars for what you pay for them. They're nice cars.
Yeah, it did well for gas mileage, so no complaints. I only had to put, I don't know how many miles I did, but I only put about $20 worth of gas in it, so it wasn't bad at all. Yes.
Good.
Well, okay, so we're going to see you Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. at least. You'll be there. We'll do the show live, and you'll do your call in as normal. We'll have you call in from the parking lot. And
I'll be wandering the parking lot.
You'll be my roving reporter.
That's right. That's exactly right. So.
All right. That sounds good. Mike, thanks so much for being with us this evening. We're going to cut this kind of short tonight so that we can go enjoy the Orioles game, which is coming up in just a little bit. Once again, the contact information for you is 410-833-1632. If people have questions about your services, they can either do one of two things. They can give you a call at that phone number, or they can go to your website, theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. It shows past cars that have been done. It also gives information on the coatings and the waxes and the treatments that you do to the cars. It's all on there, including pricing. So they can go right to the website, theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. Thanks for being with us, Mike.
My pleasure. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, bud. Also, buddy, thank you. Jose and Todd, did you find anything on the internet, or am I just talking out of my you-know-what?
No. Actually, we did find a few things. You're not talking out of your ear. On the 2005 Cadillac CTS, the recall, according to my information, did not pertain. And why they're trying to push a cylinder assembly on him, I don't know why, quite honestly. As a matter of fact, I researched 2005 CTS, 2008, and then 2010. Again, no recalls on that ignition switch or cylinders. However, I changed my search to a Chevy Cobalt, which we all know is involved.
Kind of started the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, and in that regard, not only are they doing the ignition switch replacement, but now they have included the lock cylinder also.
That's what I read. Okay. Yeah, I read that. I just didn't know where I read it from. And again, going back into my files, I was about to do that. So very, very good. Well, thank you for that fine research, sir, and very informative to all of our listeners. I appreciate that, buddy.
My pleasure. Yeah, there's an actual 10-page recall on the ignition lock cylinder. I mean, they've got all kinds of information on this.
Yeah, and it's not limited to the Cobalt. It's the Cobalt, the HHR, the Pontiac Solstice, Pontiac 5, Saturn Ion, and the Saturn Sky. So there's quite a few vehicles included in that recall.
I saw something in Florida. I only saw it for a minute. Tell me if you guys have heard this, because I know you're big GM fans too. A Pontiac Solstice Coupe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
You know,
Ricky Fresh.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, we have a customer with one.
A coupe, not a convertible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never seen one. I was driving. We were in the bus going from the villages to the Tampa Bay stadium, and I'm just casually looking out, and all of a sudden this Pontiac Solstice Coupe passes us. And I went, that was a good-looking car.
Yes, they are.
They're better looking than the convertible, I think.
Yeah, yeah. The convertibles look like
that weird flat back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a good-looking car. I'd never seen one. I've never seen one in Maryland. I know that. So, ironically, I see it in Florida where the convertibles are popular.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Really, good-looking car. Well, thanks, guys, for being with us this evening. I appreciate it. We hope you enjoy your evening. Are you going to watch the Oriole game at all tonight, or neither one of you have any real interest in that?
That's where I'm headed right now, Dave.
Yeah, we're going to turn on the tube when I get home also and watch it.
That's why I'm giving you time to do so. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you being with us this evening. Okay, once again, the phone number for Dynamic Automotive, 301-694-6250.
Correct. That's at Liberty.
That's Liberty. That's all they need. They call that number. You'll get them where they need to be. And once again, the real boss of Dynamic Automotive is?
Darlene.
There we go. Let her make sure she watches this, okay?
I will. Yeah, I'll turn it on for her tomorrow.
She'll be driving my car soon, no doubt.
Thank you, Dave. Always a pleasure being here.
You too. Thank you guys for being with me. Thanks so much. Jose and Todd of Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations to serve you: Libertytown, New Market, and Urbana. And again, Urbana is the big jewel of the 3 as far as the location. Open 7 days a week, including the 60-foot car wash with LED lighting and foamometers and all kind of stuff. So if you run out of ways to entertain your kids, take them on over to the car wash. They open 7 days a week, and entertain the kids and tell them it's Disney World. And if they're young enough, they won't know any difference. All right, Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop. Thank you very much for being with us, Mike. As always, a pleasure. Tell Lena we love her, and I know she's had a stressful couple days. So get it all taken care of, and we're looking forward to seeing the new coating on Saturday.
Yes, sir. We'll see you Saturday. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm Dave Serio from the radio program You Ought to Know, seen and heard live every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 12 noon, on the web at daveserio.com. The first 3 hours, 7 to 10, on 2 Baltimore radio stations, AM 1370, The Q in Baltimore, that's 7 to 8, and AM 680 WCBM from 8 to 10, and then 11 to 12, our Frederick station in Frederick, Maryland, WFMD, Free Talk 930. Have yourself a great evening, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. Once again, if you've been watching this on archive, join us live next Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock at YouAutoKnowLive.com, part of the Hangout10.com network. I'm Dave Serio. On behalf of Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop and Jose Bueso and Todd from Dynamic Automotive, we say adieu. Have yourself a nice evening, and go O's. Bye-bye now.